Oh, what now?
No! Get back! Back!
Are we gonna be here all day?
Hey! Welcome to Michigan, a perfectly normal US state. Fucking Teslas. There's a gun every 5 feet, and if you have a different opinion of who should be running the place, people will literally projectile vomit on you in disgust. He's violently ill.
Oh yeah, a lifetime of kicking evil's butt.
Here, you can live out your niche horror fantasy as one of many beloved Evil Dead characters. Or the ones from the 2013 movie. Or, if you've really hit rock bottom in your life, you can play the role of the evil demonic entity, as the two sides battle it out in an epic contest to play anything besides Dead by Daylight. When you first boot it up, you'll want to hop right in, but thankfully, the game knows better than to let you do what you want, and protects you from your habit of making poor choices, by forcing you to play the tutorial instead. Which is garbage. So I'm gonna teach you instead. You can also do story missions to unlock these weird audio tapes, but...
You're gonna start this cup clean! Right now! Yes! Yeah!
You can pick any survivor you want, but don't get too excited. It's the illusion of free choice as you choose between Ash, 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 or Ash. The goal of the game is simple. Read. Unfortunately, the demon detests nerd shit and wants to get you back in the gym by any means necessary. But don't worry, I'll show you exactly how to make that evil bread. The first part of the game has 2 objectives: assault and battery. During the riveting montage of misdemeanors, you should be doing 3 things: loot boxes, copious amounts of ketamine, and taking part in a countywide search for the graphic remains of that poor bastard from Dora. When it comes to how you choose to clean up the streets, there's 2 ways to go: the blade,
Next one of you primates.
or the bonk.
Did you see that?
With the sharp weapons, you can slash the Deadites' limbs to bits, which robs them of their means of attacking you, and any chance they had of seeking meaningful employment. Or option B, you cause enough blunt force trauma that the game itself presses F, which kills both the demon and my monetization. There's plenty of weapons to find and use, but some are just better than others. Why would I use something as white bread as a baseball bat when I can dual-wield heroin needles like the crackhead version of Kratos?
That was the last straw!
After finding the dismembered bits of the map, Frankenstein that shit back together to learn the location of the demonic eviction notice and the British eviction notice.
I live in Smethwick, Birmingham. If you want the fucking brawl, come down Smethwick Hospitality. I'll come out of my house and I'll break your
Vehicular manslaughter your way across the map and start a rousing game of
King of the Hill.
After that, you have to do it again. Now we have the power to... Ugh, these gender reveal parties are getting out of hand. These giant emo freaks are the final test. Instead of joining the NBA like they should have, they decided to write disturbing amounts of fan fiction, which naturally we have to put on blast. Just survive a few more waves of Coomers and protect the art while we fax it over to the proper authorities. And bam! You win! Any questions? You're solo queuing. Oh, fuck. Unfortunately, the game's not exactly that simple. More often than not, your experience will be pain. First, someone's going to insta-lock the character you wanted to play.
Everything's gonna be alright.
Then your teammates will run off on their own, get found by the demon, and become a statistic. So, you'll have to choose to either complete the objective all by yourself, or rummage through their sloppy, decaying corpse and extract their soul. Then you'll take that ghastly disappointment and slam it against some magic rocks until more cannon fodder pops out. Or that's what you hope will happen, at least. In reality, if you can even grab the soul, there's little chance that the demon gives you the opportunity to even get the revive off. So most times, you're better off hoping that the rest of your teammates are somewhat developed past the Homo erectus stage, and can either give you a hand or push the objective. Because when you nab the page or the dagger, everybody is revived, albeit without any items or ammo. Of course, if that was how the easy part of the game went, have fun trying to cross the streams while these giant hooded assholes keep throwing fireballs and sharding rust on you! The odds on you getting a good team while solo queuing are Jack and shit. And Jack left town. So in the meantime, we can also play as the demon, which, if you don't have at least one friend to play with, is probably the only way you'll have fun with the game, is what I'd like to say. The goal here is simple. And failing that, you make like any good military leader and destroy all evidence of what you've been doing here. In the early game, both sides are very weak. However, the difference is, only one side can actually lose here. The survivors will need to find resources and maps, while all the demon has on its to-do list here is search and destroy.
Enemy spotted.
As the survivors have the jungle juice of hard drugs to get wired on, you have magic floating meatballs, which act as your energy. And naturally, the more Italian you get, the more violent you become. Level up by basically doing anything, but demons? Traps. Until you can find people to beat up, zip around from spot to spot, always trapping chests because they get you the most XP, and only heavily trapping the important places, like where your dagger and page are. There's not much complicated about being the demon, but there are some things to remember. Being spooky is your most powerful tool. As you kick the shemp out of survivors, you'll build up their fear meters, a measurement of how brown their pants are. When it gets high enough, their position will be revealed, and you'll be able to hop in the driver's seat. This will often be your main form of attack, especially in the early game where level 1 survivors can't compete with your enhanced stats. They're like Popeye with no spinach. Except Popeye's from the 80s. Try to maintain a constant pressure to keep draining them of their supplies. This will make burning the book at the end a lot easier. Oh, and if your game does drag on long enough, you can kill someone by running them into the Fortnite storm. Because... why is there a Fortnite storm? Unfortunately, this game falls into the same trap that all asymmetrical games fall into. It is impossible to balance. And let me tell you, I've extensively analyzed every survivor and repeatedly faced down all the demons, even my own. And the reason why it's impossible to balance is... it's an asymmetrical multiplayer game. When everyone knows what they're doing and is working together, it's incredibly easy to just jump whatever the demon throws at you. Now I know, communication might sound scary. You have enough trouble with it already, don't you? But teamwork really does make the ketamine work. And it's not really something that can be fixed. It's a constant battle on the devs' part to try to find the right spot with buffs and nerfs. If you nerf a bunch of stuff that the high-skill survivors complain about, then the baby demons suffer. What the fuck? And if you nerf a bunch of stuff that the high-skilled demons complain about, then the filthy casual survivors suffer. What the fuck? In the right setting, one side will always stomp the other. The best way to combat this is to simply get good. And cry. So, I've gathered some helpful tips. Like what? Like... target the squishy characters to burn heals faster. Stacking balance bar damage is broken. Cars are the most important tool of the game. Use them. Windows are bullshit. Jump scaring will interrupt revives. Stacking balance bar damage is broken! And any amount of gameplay works with this.
Get up! I'm not done with you!